615 presents Off the Record with Tom Lormor and Kami Foxx. Off the Record. 615 Off the Record.
Guys, welcome back to 615 presents Off the Record. I'm Tom Lormor, aka Tom DeLips, and I'm joined as always by my co-host Kami Foxx.
Yes, people, how are we doing? And we are joined by a special guest today, Emma Rushworth, aka Mariella Violin. How you doing?
Hey guys, you alright?
Hello, Em. So, for every one of our listeners that doesn't know who you are, I'll let you start off. Tell everybody a bit about yourself and what company you represent.
Yeah, so I have an electric strings company myself, which is called String Infusion. You know, we provide a lot of different electric strings for daytime sort of ceremonies, events, all that sort of thing. But obviously I also work for you guys as Mariella Violin, which I love doing for the evening sort of DJ entertainment side. Yeah. So everything's always a lot of fun.
One of our very own 615 artists, yes. And a very successful company of your own, which we obviously work quite closely with on a number of different events and occasions and stuff like that. So to give everyone a little bit more insight into what you're about, I know you've obviously just discussed it briefly there, maybe give us a little bit more of an idea of what you do in terms of marketing yourselves, where you're based, what sort of events you're doing, who you're working with and stuff like that.
Yeah, no problem. So obviously we're based in Manchester, but obviously we travel everywhere. We've done gigs internationally as well, but obviously at the moment that's not really a thing. So
we'll get on to that, COVID, as always.
But yeah, so we try and travel a lot, but obviously we work with different companies, different production companies, so we can really tailor it and make it bespoke to whatever event it is. It could be stage sort of, you know, dance shows, we can incorporate different instrumentals with that, or it can just be kind of high energy sets, electric string sets.
You've written your music, you've written customised, tailored music for events as well, haven't you?
Exactly, yeah, we've done all sorts, and that's what we feel is important to a client. We like to make sure that whatever it is, it will suit their specific event, so nothing is ever the same. Yeah.
Well, we came up with a concept for my wedding, didn't we?
Exactly.
It was very good.
And very different. We've never done that.
It was mint. It got everyone guessing.
No,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
Everyone guessing.
Well, so everyone that doesn't know, it was actually, what happened was we came up with an idea that myself and my wife wanted to do film music, basically, in the church, didn't we? So all our favourite movies, theme tracks, essentially. And what we did is, with the help of you, Emma, was to get together a small
mini orchestra. It was fab, yeah.
And then we scored all the music from scratch, didn't we?
Yeah.
And then recorded it.
Exactly, and I think it's really nice because film music obviously isn't played a lot at weddings, but it's so epic and it's got some really beautiful music in it. Yeah. Especially from string side, you know, when we look at that and people that request it, it's always very difficult because, like you said, you need a bit of all the instruments. Otherwise I just don't think it has that epic scale about it. It still sounds lovely, but it's just with those extra instruments.
Yeah, added it, didn't it? It was brilliant.
But it was fun playing that as well, isn't it, compared to everything else? That's
what, you know, all the musicians who played just said it's so different. They never do that. They're used to just turning up, kind of doing the same sort of songs, which is lovely, and they work. Yeah. But, you know, to do something different, it just makes our job more exciting.
Yeah, and we're always trying to break sort of the boundaries, I suppose, with 615 as a brand. And that was something that, I mean, there was a lot of different segments to the wedding that we tried new things for.
Exactly.
And that was one of them. And obviously that was the first part of the day, really.
And definitely breaking the boundaries with the Harry Potter medley. So it wasn't just a piece. You had a medley.
Yeah, I know, it was brilliant. It was emotional. Yeah. I must admit, there's some I know my mum was emotional over Jurassic Park theme tune because of when I was a kid and I loved Jurassic Park, and that everything, there was all part, I was emotional anyway. I was like trying not to cry. Oh yeah, like, with a chin doubled up, man.
And that's what we try and do, you know. We try and make people feel happy and special on their day and try and provide something different. It was like this corporate event we did, which was at Event City. It was a 90s theme. So they wanted us all in like neon costumes, basically, with the whole hair, mascara. We had like neon, we put neon.
Didn't you have neon eyelashes?
Yeah, neon eyelashes, put neon lights around the instruments. There was 20 of us, so it was a 20-piece electric string group. So we can go up to kind of any size, really.
Yeah. You've built that obviously from scratch.
Yes.
What's your background as an artist? Because I know a lot of our artists come from different backgrounds. There's a lot of classically trained, there's a lot of jazz trained musicians and stuff, and then there's obviously you've got your DJs who've grown up with different genres of music, got into it at different times in their life. I know you've done it for a long time. You've got a musical family as well.
Yeah, my dad.
Similar to
myself. So he obviously was he's just retired last week, was a music teacher. He went to study in London. He was classically trained, as was I, but he really knew he wanted to teach. So even though he kind of, you know, did the whole playing side and loved it, he always came back and was like, I want to teach. And then he kind of introduced me to the violin. It was like this big, looked like a toy, you know, 16th size, I think they call it. It was tiny. Wow. And yeah, I just couldn't get enough of it, really. Just wanted to keep playing and playing for hours.
Now you're the queen of violin.
Oh, I don't know about that. I'm still learning, but we're getting there.
You smashed it, haven't you?
What age did you start playing then?
When I was 4.
4 years old, wow.
4, yeah.
I tried to get Ted playing piano at 4 and that did not go down
Yeah,
well.
piano's a difficult one though, because it's if you think about it, it's 2 hands. So at that age, it's quite difficult, and if they can't stretch.
Yeah.
So maybe about 8.
Yeah, I'm getting back into it. He did enjoy it, but like you said, it's difficult. And going back for when I started playing, I know I played piano briefly when I was very young.
Yeah.
And then picked up the sax when I was about 8 or 9, I think. So I know everyone gets into it. The best time to get into it is as a kid.
Definitely.
100%.
And I don't remember starting. So when everyone asks me, I'm like, I don't actually know. Like, I can't tell you. It's just been part of my life for that long, you know? So it's been fab. And then I do remember, like, my first violin teacher, like, you know, like, just brief memories. Like, I don't really look at it and go, I remember this day specifically. Yeah. But I'll never forget we used to do, like, I've always been into the performance side. Definitely, like, she used to get us every Sunday, all of us together, and we used to, even if it was just open strings, whatever we'd learnt that week, we had to play in front of everyone. I was so nervous. Yeah. Obviously, tiny at the age of 4 in front of all the parents, and you were like, but it was the best thing because it made me learn how to perform from such a young age.
And build your confidence.
Exactly, because no matter what it is, I think confidence is such a massive thing when performing, and that's, you know, something that no matter how good you feel about your playing, you just got to keep doing it, no matter what setting it is, whether it's a classical concert, whether it's in a bar, whether it's, you know, at an event, everything is good for your confidence.
Yeah, so. I agree with that. I think I've spoken to a couple of people in the past about this because it's something I feel quite strongly about. I know I've discussed it with Kami before. I think I had Josh Butler on a podcast, and we chatted about it then, about the importance of music with young people. And I know there'll be parents listening.
Yeah.
And I know from personal experience, just relating to what I went through, is that it is very, very tough as a kid to keep it up when you've got your friends out wanting to play footy or whatever it is on the street and messing about, and then, you know, I know my dad was pretty strict with that. You're practicing, you know, you've got a talent, you're doing it. And I would kick and scream doing stuff for me. But I'm so glad I've got there now. Everyone looks at it now and looks at what we do, particularly, and says, oh, it's a dead glamorous life. You know, number of things from a client perspective, they think we've got a dead glamorous life and it looks so easy. Yeah, but that's because of all the years of hard work. But on another point is when clients or potential people, you know, say, oh, you know, you do, it's good money, that, isn't it, really, for what you're doing? I said, well, actually, if you look at the time you've put in
from the age of 4, I'm now, what, 25? Yeah. That's how long?
If you look at the hours of investment, and not only on time, but on materials, like the instrument itself, then you can justify the sort of fees that artists are charging.
It's so true, and I think it's one of those that people don't really understand. When, you know, you're booking for any event, they look at the fee sometimes and think, oh, I didn't have that budget. And then I think once I try and explain to them, you know, these are the reasons why. And I always say, in terms of, you know, it's our time, and we've prepped before, we have to prep, even for events, say they want new songs, we still have to practice that. Yeah. So it's all that time gathering together and everything else that will include, and it's justified, really.
Yeah, and when the brands come through as well, again, each act or artist who's built up that brand, that justifies it as well, because it's supply. Again, it goes back to sort of your supply and demand. You know, artists in high demand can get higher fees.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because they're wanted more often. You know, and that's not just come overnight,
no.
I suppose is what I'm trying to say.
Hard work.
Saying to any parents listening or anybody like that with young children that if you can get them into it,
please support them as well.
But it'll be tough. Yeah. And you do have to make them stick with it. And it can sometimes be a battle, because I know loads of people have come to me.
I've had it.
And you, everyone that does it, saying, oh, I used to play that. I used to play this. I used to do that. And I give it up. I wish I'd kept up with it.
No.
But they only realise when they're older that they made a mistake giving it up, and that by that time it's too late.
And that makes me so sad, because I think, especially nowadays, like I always say, to a prime example is I met this young violinist at RNCM, and he used to come and watch all my performances. It just happened he was there just to learn, and he's so enthusiastic, and his parents are amazing. But you know, I'll never forget, you know, we just had like a catch up. And it was a bit more of an advice call, really, as to what to do. You know, he's just not into it at the moment. He wants to do everything. And I just said, you've got to encourage him.
Yeah.
You know, just keep him going. I said, even if, because he has a few pieces ready. And I was like, well, why don't you put on like a street event for him to play, to raise money, just anything to get him to play. Yeah. And he had such a great time and loved it. So it's just trying to think of new things and ways to make people and, you know, everyone to keep going. I think it gets to that tricky age of like teenage age, 13. That was when I struggled, 13, 14, and my dad was a teacher at my school, so I had the whole stigma of, oh, you're Mr. Rushworth's daughter, and it was hard.
Wow. But my dad taught at my school
as well, so you know.
But I wasn't there when he was there, fortunately, but a lot of the teachers were still there that had worked with him.
So they know.
So I didn't quite get labelled with the...
Yeah. It's interesting.
Your dad's a teacher, but it was not far off.
Yeah, it didn't faze me, but it's one of those where I just always, for me, obviously, I had my parents' support, and they were the same. Keep going. Nope, you're going to do it. And I just thought, okay. But then I always looked at it again when, say, the days I didn't practice, it made me realise how much I did actually love it. Yeah. So when I had like a couple of days off and I was more in my GCSEs or whatever, and then I was like, I don't want to be revising right now. I want to be playing, but I can't. But so that's when I realised how much I really did love the violin. So.
Yeah, brilliant. So moving on.
Yep.
We're obviously coming back to the here and now.
Yes.
We're obviously going to have to speak about the COVID thing,
because that
does come up. We must. I say it on every podcast. We're going to briefly touch on it, and then we end up getting into it. And it's very. Let's just be honest. It's very, very difficult to avoid. So.
Yeah.
Bearing that, obviously, we know. The industry right now is on its knees, really, because of it.
It's hard times.
Maybe cast your mind back and think of a few other challenges that you face with, other than COVID, within this industry.
Yeah, definitely. There's loads to consider. I think for me, you know, at the moment, kind of doing it on my own with my family. So there's just me and my mum who are kind of doing everything from the marketing to booking the clients to actually being at the event and playing. So for me, that was a massive challenge to start with, because I don't think when I set it up I knew I had the idea, but I don't think I realised, obviously I'm a violinist, I'm not really a businesswoman, never got taught any business skills, so I just thought, oh, it'll be alright, like we'll get through, surely it'll be easy. But actually it was so challenging. Like I learned so much from it, learned how to manage my time, which was a massive thing, especially when you're coming back from gigs late, and then you know, so to start with, it was very up and down, and that was probably the first major challenge. But we're getting there. There's always challenges like that, but we're evening them out slowly.
Yeah, there's been times where I've messaged you and you'll get back to me at the most maddest times ever. At like 4 a.m, 6 a.m, I'm like, what is going on here? You'll just tell me. I'll send you a message.
I'll be like, oh, I've just got back from London.
Just got back from London. Just get a couple hours sleep and I'm flying somewhere else.
Back
like,
again.
wow.
But I think, like you said, even though we don't talk about COVID, I think it has helped me realise I need to slow down in a way that I need to look after myself, which I definitely wasn't doing. I'd say 2 years ago, I was just running everywhere, taking every bit of business that we could, which in the way was a good thing because it helped us get going, helped us get the ball rolling, helped us get, you know, to meet you guys, meet other like production companies and events people. But I think now we have those contacts. We're not slowing down, but in a way we're keeping going, but I'm just not being stupid.
Yeah, you can afford to be more selective.
Exactly.
But everyone goes through that initial like rush of taking everything. Because there's no other way to get off the ground until you've got some sort of financial backing in terms of like bringing in revenue. Yeah. But then also being able to build the contact base, like you just said then,
that was hard.
That can support your business essentially moving forward. And I think only then, when you've got that brand recognition, and the client base, that's when you can start being a little bit more selective.
Yes.
In what you do personally as an artist, but also as a business.
Exactly. And then for me, another thing was, obviously I've never really dealt with clients. Like, that was a massive thing. You learn about, even from as simple as learning how to speak on the phone. Like, I was like, what am I doing? Like, do I have a phone voice? Like, I had no idea what I was doing. And in a way, I learned a lot from my mum, because obviously she's a manager. So she kind of does that on a regular basis, 9 to 5. And obviously deals with barristers, like just different people on a regular basis. So I kind of learned slowly from her, because I used to work, you know, at her chambers when I was 15, 16. Yeah. So when she was on the phone, I was like, peeping in, trying to have a little listen, you know, trying to take notes earlier on. I never knew I wanted to set up a business then, but it still came in handy with general things, you know. So that's how it started. So she's definitely been a massive role model throughout this process. For sure.
Yeah, she's great, your mum. I really like her. Lovely lady. She is. Very lovely lady. Hello, Mum. If you listen, hello. Oh, watching now, because we're going on to YouTube. I always forget we're actually being filmed. So another point, like obviously, like we've just gone over there, is about how busy you've been and taking on the business. And I mean, you are personally probably the best person to answer this question, because I know how busy you are, and it's something we ask everyone that comes on the show. But how do you deal with busy, stressful times? And go into as much depth as you want. We speak to people about anxiety, mental health, because that does come into play a lot with artists, musicians, whatever. So how do you deal with that?
Oh, it's an interesting one. Right at the beginning, I just kind of put it to one side. And I thought, no, I'm strong, I can keep going. And that's what I was doing for the past 2 years, dig deep. Because my mum obviously was like, you know, no matter what happens, you just got to keep strong. And in a way, she kind of used to give me pep talks, like, no, you can do it. And I just kept going. And then it got to, obviously, you only can go for so long before you then kind of just break down. And it's one of those, that's, again, I've learned a lot through COVID, is mental health is a massive thing for performers and obviously business owners, because we don't like to portray it. When we're in front of clients or around, you know, people who you're working with, you always have to...
You've got a reputation.
And, you know, you can't really say, oh, well, I've got back from a gig at 4 a.m, I'm feeling really down. Like, imagine, and then a client rings you at 7 or something stupid because they're in another country. And it's all that sort of thing. So I definitely have dug deep a lot during this.
No worries. Just cut a set. Dickie, just cut it a set. It's all right. Are you all right? Just wait. Is that note blowing off the door? There's no note on the door anymore. It's full. We put a note on saying we're recording.
Put gaffer tape on as well.
No worries. Yeah, we'll come out and get you in a minute, Katie. All right, love.
Go from wherever you want.
Yeah, I'll just leave it recording, Dick.
Yeah, don't stop recording.
No, leave it going, Dixter. Oh, he's still going anyway. Yeah, because this stuff happens. Like my phone's gone off in the middle of a Zoom call and it cut it
really?
off. Yeah. So it's fine. We can edit it all out anyway.
Do you want me to keep answering it or start again?
Where were we up to then?
About the mental health side.
Should we keep going on that point? Yeah. Keep going.
Yeah. Okay. So I think it is really important, because I definitely say always talk, because that's what I learned. I didn't, and I just kept it in. I was like, no, I'm strong. I've got this. I can perform. I can do this, and you just get into like this whirlwind of emotions every day. And I learned the hard way, just talk. And like I said, I'm lucky I can speak to my family about it, and you know, I have my dad's support, my mum's support, even my brother's support now, which is amazing. So we all talk together, and that really helps. Yeah,
it is. It's that, and that. I think having that network of support is really important, whether it's friends, family, or whatever.
Whoever it is.
You need that to offload.
Yeah. And you're definitely not alone, which I know sounds stupid, but it's so true.
You do think it at the beginning, you're like,
you do.
The only person who's so busy right now.
And then it gets worse, because when you start thinking that, it gets deeper and deeper and deeper, rather than if you're able to say it and, you know, try and get it out somehow.
It's a relief, isn't it?
You feel better.
Yes, I definitely agree with that. I think talking's a massive resolve for it. Right, so we'll move on now to the next section.
Yeah, so how How did we meet? How did you?
I think it was social media when we just set up. Like, it was really, really early on from our side. We literally, I think, were just on social media. I don't think we had a website, or we just had a new website. It was that early on in our development, because we started getting sort of inquiries just from social media.
Yeah.
You never realise how powerful social media is, which I'm learning a lot now. But yeah, it was Dax messaged us for an event at Thornton Manor.
Okay,
and you were coming up with this concept of having a string sort of section with DJ. And that was basically it. And you were like, you know, come to this event. Yeah. And we kind of got all the arrangements sorted. And it started from there, really. So, yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't remember, actually. It's a good question, because I was thinking, when you've asked that, then I thought, actually, how did I meet you? And
it was the funniest. I'll never forget that event. It was amazing. We got makeup done. We had like really nice dresses. We're like, oh, we got to make a good impression. And we felt like, I'll never forget, one of our girls had the same dresses as one of the actual like party members. So she was like, well, at least we fit in. That's all good. If anything happens, we fit in. So.
Which one was that? Thornton Manor or Petherton?
Thornton Manor.
Oh,
I remember it.
Yeah, I remember the Petherton.
I think you were there.
Petherton's the one we filmed, isn't it?
That's the one we filmed. Yeah, when you can't hope you liked us anyway. Seems like you did.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was from that then we did the Petherton one.
That concept was another one that works very, very well.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that the video what we got with you and a DJ outside at Peckford.
It was insane. Yeah. It was a perfect day as well for all.
Mega wedding, that was, wasn't it? Yeah.
100%. Another question is, what do you think about the people behind 615?
Oh, I love you all.
Hey.
You're all like my family, really. Even though I don't speak too much, when I do, I have such a great time because I know we're all busy. Yeah. So we obviously don't get time to do a lot together or go out and stuff. But when we do, it's great. And I think we are very like-minded in the way we think business-wise as well, which helps. Yeah. I think it's really important for musicians. Like, you know, a lot of musicians, I know it sounds bad, they don't really have that kind of social skill to speak to people. They kind of turn up, do the job, write them off, bye. But I think it's really important to have that, especially with different, like the rapport basically between musicians. Yeah. You know, and you can help each other out. I think, you know, as businesses, as I'm learning now, especially with COVID, we all need each other. Yeah. And if we can help each other and somehow create something together, that's more special than what you already can do, then why not?
Yeah.
Happy days, brilliant. And the next question, I actually know the answer to this one, because I feel like I was there, I saw it happen, but have you got any...
I know what you're going to say.
Have you got any funny stories whilst working with 615?
Is this the wedding photo?
Yeah, when I stacked it.
Oh, yeah, that was brilliant.
Oh, wow.
So I thought the monitor was stable.
Was this at Tatton?
Yeah, Tatton.
Yeah, it was. I just can't believe no one got that on video.
There's build people, cameras out.
Yeah, but you had yours out. Kami had your camera out and put it away, which is unlike Kami. He's like the master of filming stuff. He'll get you dribbling mayo out your mouth eating a burger.
I was like, I want to join you guys. I can't be on the floor. And I was like, I'm just gonna go for it. And then fell right on the floor.
Yeah, but you could have hurt yourself, to be fair.
It
was funny, but you fell off a like 2-foot stage standing on a monitor that tipped you off.
Into the table and chairs of red florals designed.
You took 2 steps back like you were going to do a run up, and I was like, and then that was it.
This is not ending well.
But you got up straight away and you started playing.
I was like, oh, keep going. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it, when you get... Because it's happened a few times, and she's going to hate me for this, one of our girls, Michaela, but she's known for it. Like, whether it's on stage or off stage, it's always Michaela who stacks it every single time. And it's a similar thing, like, she does the same, she just gets up, but... As I just keep going, she just looked round like a deer in headlights, as if like, what's just happened? And there was this one, I'll never forget that, thank God it was just like a wedding. It wasn't anything major, but it was Living on a Prayer. We were playing for a drinks reception, and there was just 2 of us. It was just me and her there, and it got to the key change right into the Christmas tree. All I saw, I like turned round to be like, let's do this, and then just saw a heel up, and she was like in the Christmas tree.
Oh man!
So we've had and then after that day, I knew what it felt like. So I went up to her afterwards and I was like, yeah, I know how you feel now.
Yeah, full audience as well. And just literally, I thought, oh my days. I wasn't even, I think you was playing with Dax. And
yeah, I was. I think
who was it? It was just you and Dax. No, you were filming.
Were you not there?
You were filming. I'm sure you were, because you just put your phone away and missed it. And I was stood behind the decks, and I was like, "Oh my days!" Like, and Liam and Tom, who's our production lads, they was just in bits on the floor behind, going, "Oh my god, you just seen that?"
I'm never gonna.
I was like, "How's she still got her legs intact here? It looked like she just snapped it, like literally snapped your ankle in two."
Literally, yeah, I'll never forget.
Oh, brilliant! Right. The fun round, the quick fire questions.
Oh,
literally, we're just going to come at you with some random questions.
Let's do this.
And you just, people tend to like not just give a one word answer. They tend to go off on one. But if you can, just give a one word answer.
God,
yeah,
I'm really bad at this.
I do allow a little bit of talking if it's
needed,
going to be good. Yeah,
justified.
Yeah, Cami starts us off anyway.
Right. So, electric or acoustic violin?
Electric.
Oh right.
That was easy. Sorry.
Favourite cheese?
Mozzarella.
Oh, good choice.
Ooh, what you put in a toaster?
What did you say?
What you put in a toaster?
Toast. Bread. Damn it.
I was like that then, thinking. I was going to say toast. I was like, oh, he's had us both over here. He's had us both over here.
It's quick fire under pressure.
To be fair, crumpets go in.
Crumpets do go in.
I'll tell you what else goes in. Potato waffles.
Yes.
Out the freezer. Best way to cook potato waffle is in the toaster out the freezer.
There you go. Learn something new every day.
There you go. There's a little fun fact for you. Or even better, providing that you've not got all your toasty crumbs at the bottom of it and you've cleaned it out, tip your toaster on the side.
You've never done that?
Yes, I have. And put cheese on toast in it, but one way up and it toasts it. There you go. But you have to have it on its side, so make sure it's clean and it's level.
There we go.
There's some tricks for you. That's uni tricks, that. From when
That's
you couldn't be
amazing.
bothered doing, like, you didn't have a griller out, so you just bang it in the toaster upside down, basically, and it goes in sideways, and you toast your cheese.
For the record, Tom's going to demonstrate this at some point.
I will do. We'll get it on film. I'll do a YouTube tutorial on how to toast cheese on toast with a toaster. What else have I got? Oh, do you know what? I don't know what to ask. Favorite type of music. Let me reword it. Favorite genre of music.
That's so hard for me.
Just say it.
I can't.
It's got to be what's up.
I don't have a favourite genre.
Oh, no.
But I don't.
There must be one that sits up there.
No.
Let's see.
Look at my Spotify playlist, and you've got classical, R&B, house. You've got like all the chart stuff. Like I could not say. You've got classics. Like I could not say.
All right. Tell you what. I'll give you a scenario. Right. Finished a gig, sweating. 4 a.m. You get in your car. Right. You go on Spotify.
Where's this going?
You go in your car. And you're going to play a track whilst you drive home. Like
I put the radio on.
Yeah, no, that's not a good.
I just put radio on.
That's not a good scenario,
Yeah.
because we don't listen to music after a gig.
Yeah.
We have silence.
Yeah.
But
I think for me to
I'm forcing you to answer this one. We're not doing
God.
because I also have a classical playlist that I've built, and I listen to Classic FM. But not all the time. I also have like a little jazz playlist thing, which I rarely listen to, but I still do like.
Yeah, I don't listen to a lot.
See, I used to have Branford Marsalis. I'm even doing myself out of this quick fire round here.
Yeah.
But obviously, if I get asked, it's definitely house straight up.
Yeah.
So
I can't.
But I love all the music. You've got to be able to have.
I'm classically trained.
Yeah, but I am. So there's no right. We're not having it. You've got to answer one.
I can't. Like honestly, and that's why I do what I do, because that's why I'm not an orchestral player.
Right.
Because if that was, it'd be classical.
I'm going to flip the scenario, right?
Okay, go on.
You're off to a big gig, right? And you need to hype yourself up.
House.
Yeah, but that's
Bounce?
not house.
Oh,
I put house on.
Oh, it said bounce.
Bounce.
Ding, 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 ding.
Bounce by the ounce.
Imagine.
That would have been a shock. Emma Rushworth likes bounce.
I wonder if violin goes with bounce. So we try it.
I've never tried it. I think we should.
Right, we're getting Will in. And we're
Get
gonna
the swing on.
Right, everyone watch out. We're going to do an Instagram video or live
We've
or
got
Facebook
to
video
now.
of Emma Rushworth, Mariella Violin, doing some violin with bounce.
Let's do it.
We're doing it. Right, let's leave it there. Let's wrap it up. Thank you so much for coming in.
Not a problem. Thank you guys.
It's really good to see you. I know we've not seen each other for a long time. Anything you want to plug? Socials?
Yeah, just that we're obviously all on social media as at String Infusion. Check out our website as well. Or check out my Mariella Violin page on Instagram, Facebook as well, or just speak to these guys as well.
Make sure you
about
book
that.
through us, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. Go through these guys.
Actually, not too much plugging.
Yeah.
We're going to have to cut that out. Kami, finish us up, mate.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in to the Off the Record podcast with Emma Rushworth, aka Mariella Violin. Hope you've enjoyed it as much as us. If you're watching on YouTube, the links will be in the description below. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave us a review on podcast and Spotify as well.
iTunes podcast. Well done, Kami. You struggled with that a little bit there. We're a bit rusty this morning. Right, yeah, thank you guys. That's it from us. I'm Tom Lormor, and we've been joined by the lovely Emma Rushworth and obviously my co-host Kami. See you soon. Bye.
Lovely.
615 presents Off the Record with Tom Lormor and Kami Foxx.